everyone, happy winter to everyone out there. Now, winter is an interesting time. I think for a lot of people, especially where it can get really cold. I know obviously it's not winter everywhere in the world, but for a lot of us in the world, we experience a really cold, bitter, and long winter. And this can be kind of taxing, especially as the winter moves forward. It becomes harder and harder to really enjoy. It's just dark and gloomy and cold, but I am a firm believer that winter is a beautiful, beautiful season. Honestly, it's probably my favorite season. It's not because I'm a cold, bitter person, but it's because I think winter just opens so many doors that summer and fall and spring don't. In the summertime, we're often really ambitious and we have these really grand goals for ourselves, things to create, things to accomplish, and it's a really independent season. Of course, this is so generalized that it's impossible for me to be correct, but I do think that the coldness and the darkness of winter opens up new doors for love and for warmth and for slowness. So here are some really random reasons why I love the winter time and why you should love the winter time. So in the winter, there is this constant chase for warmth. And when you find it, it grants you a whole lot of pleasure. What am I talking about? Now, this can be like a hot beverage that you're forced to drink really slowly and really calmly, or it can be a nice warm fire outside where it's really cold. Think about warming up in a blanket with somebody who you love, or reading with a blanket wrapped around you. Of course, the most joyous warmth of all is the warmth of other people, and so I think winter is a lovely time to just give out a bunch of hugs and to receive hugs and to cross these boundaries. The next thing that I think is very special about the winter is love. Now, of course, love is a part of every person and something that most of us desire and most of us experience, but I think the love in the winter is stronger. I think that's because people desire company in the winter. The nights are really dark and the outdoors are really cold. It can be a really difficult time to be alone. I think it's a time where we really sometimes have our biggest struggles, which turn us to people. When we are at the darkest times of our lives, nothing else really matters. Our passions don't matter. Things that we own, our material worth, that doesn't matter. The only thing that we really have to hold on to is people. They are what save us in these darkest times. And I think winter definitely opens this door to appreciate the people who we have around us and to really spend time with them and to love them so unselfishly. Winter, of course, for most of us is a time for the holidays. The holidays in themselves are just a time where people get together and really think about each other, think about why they care about the other person and how to bring them a gift. I think the holidays are definitely a time where we get together, we meet people, we appreciate the people who have been in our lives. And of course, the holidays are just a time to enjoy yourself and to not be so hard on yourself. With the holiday season also comes much more family time. A lot of people travel to see their distant family. There's so much that you can feel through this process, so much that you can learn. The holidays becomes a time for bonding, for breaking boundaries and escaping the monotony of everyday living, really enjoying the present moment. With the joy of the holidays comes a sort of opportunity to let go, to breathe, to relax, to let go of the expectations and the deadlines that we place on ourselves. The next amazing thing about winter, which I had to put in here, is all of the warm and delicious food. I am such a huge fan of hot food that is homemade, and I cannot explain to you how much I love the things that my family makes in the winter time. It's really just full of the strength that allows me to get through the winter time and to really strengthen my spirit and my stomach and my mind. And with the cooking of really delicious warm food comes bonding over that food and cooking together with your family and thinking of new recipes and really being creative, exploring the whole culinary experience with people who are really close to you. My favorite thing about the winter time is the slowness. I don't know where the slowness comes from, and I don't know if everybody experiences it, but I definitely have so many moments where I just am away from my phone, I'm away from intense like political discussions, and I'm just there, really fully in the moment and looking at the clouds or looking at the snow. I really find much more time in the winter to appreciate the simple things, like a slow, cold morning, or a really sad love song, or a hot cup of tea. Maybe because in the wintertime people take more time off and are at home more with their family or vacationing. It really gives us time to pause and to slow down and to not rush. I was reading in John Green's Turtles All the Way Down, just this one line that said, the Zen Buddhist master that knows that nothing really has to be rushed. I don't know. I think winter reminds me that when you take things slow, when you are humble, you desire little from life, that you are really truly the happiest. And this change of pace offers us a time to relax, to breathe, and evaluate where our lives are going, what we've been through, and to be compassionate with ourselves through our struggles. Of course, some of the simple things that make the winter so beautiful and magical are things like the snow. If you're able to experience it, it's just so deafening and like being in a fairy tale and just majestic. It really brings you back to the thoughts that you had when you were a child and the excitement of snow. With the cold also comes a struggle. It's not really comfortable all the time going outside and being shivering, but it's a nice challenge. It's so rewarding when you're hiking outside and looking at the nature of the winter and really seeing all of the trees and really challenging yourself in that way by remaining outside, by enduring the cold, by enjoying the cold. I think another wonderful thing about the cold is that feeling you get of coming back inside after working many hours in the cold or walking many hours in the cold, and you just come back inside and you feel this insurmountable warmth and pleasure. You cuddle up with a hot cup of whatever. The last little thing I have about the winter is how beautiful it is to look at the lights. There's something about candle or something about a street lamp or about the holiday decorations that people place that just so magical. It's like really being in Harry Potter, and that contrast I think is so beautiful. It's really nice to feel like you're in a winter wonderland and you're in fairy tale land. In the winter there's a lot more darkness, especially in some areas in the world where there's significantly more darkness. A lot of us tend to be bitter about the fact that there's a lot of darkness, but I think that if you just open your mind and your heart a little bit, you can see the winter as a time to really learn to love the darkness and the things that come with it, like light and like fires and sadness. All of that can be really beautiful and can teach you a lot and bring you to new areas in life if we learn to see the beauty in a change, because that's the thing about seasons, is that they all have their different energy and they all have change. And that change to me is like somebody handing me a little novel, a new novel of things for me to experience, for me to learn and to go through. The only way that I'm going to enjoy the season is if I read that novel with all of my heart. A kind of key to life is that change is going to happen, and all you can do is really keep up with it, adapt to it, accept it, and not try to control everything, and not try to constantly mold your life to some ideal vision that you have in your mind, but to just accept yourself as you are, accept the change as it is. I hope this video gives you a little bit of inspiration to be a happy snowman this winter. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.